Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today I'm going to answer a few questions that I got from the YouTube comment section, okay? So I guess this is like part two of me answering your questions. Let's just go right ahead and answer the question from More Age, More Lays, okay, who apparently seems to be a fan of Derek from More Plates, More Dates. Hey, Bob, because it's Bob with Raw Strength and Muscle. Could you do a video on body fat set point and how to lower it? I was a fat piece of shit like 3 years ago. I've done well losing a lot of weight, but I always seem to be stuck at the 20% body fat range. Leanest I've got was 15%, and then I bumped back up to 20%. It's like my body forces my appetite to binge whenever I get below 20%. So annoying. Okay, first of all, I believe that I did a video on body fat set point before. I'm going to link that video if it exists, and I can find it below in the description. Certainly watch that video. I'm going to go ahead and give you some answers that may or may not have been in that video. So watch that, but also listen to what I'm going to say now. I don't really believe in body fat set point, okay? Because I've had a million different body fat set points in my life. I was fat as hell, lost a lot of weight when I went to basic training when I was a kid, gained a lot of weight because, I read Brooks Kubrick's Dinosaur Training, just started lifting heavy and bra and everything. Problem is, when I left the Army, I stopped running, stopped swimming, stopped rucksack marching and stuff like that. So I ate and drank the same way I did before, lifted the heavy weights the same way I did before. But when I got out of the Army, I got fat as all hell. So I had like a skinny fat kind of, body fat check set point. Then I went ahead and I got to, got pretty lean. Then I got fat when I left the Army. Then I got lean again. Okay. Then I got fat again. And now, then I got very lean for a long time. I stayed lean for a long time. Then I lean bulked. And now, my body fat set point is somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds, okay? So I really don't believe in this whole body fat set point. I think it has a lot to do with your lifestyle, and I think it has a lot to do with your mind, okay? So first of all, in terms of your lifestyle, if you are an active person who eats to fuel his body, okay, you will remain lean. Okay, the problem with a lot of times with the body fat set point is like a person starves himself to diet. And I'm a fan of extreme diets, so don't get me wrong. But you starve yourself to diet, you starve yourself to get lean, and then you start binging and you get fat as all hell. Okay, and I don't think this is really that much of a problem of you're having a higher body fat set point. Your body wants to be 15 or 20% body fat. I think this is more like you're starving yourself. You can't take it any longer and you eat because you're starving. Okay. So what I'm talking about is, first of all, I always suggest that people, quote, cheat before they cheat. Okay. You never push a diet to the point where you absolutely cannot handle it and you start binging. Okay. So if you get to the point where you have to start binging on your diet, I really suggest you throw in a refeed, a diet break, transition out of the diet. I've had a lot of really good results with some of my training clients doing that, where basically you diet hard. And when you get to the point where you are, really depleted, it's like, man, I don't know how long I'll be able to do this. I'm kind of starting to look at the cookie jar kind of thing. You think you might start to binge, then you slowly add in calories, just enough to take the edge off. You may end up around your maintenance calories, but it's fine because the point is you lost weight and then you slowly lost weight and then you maintained your weight loss, as opposed to starving yourself, binging and getting fat again, okay? So you do not want to go backwards when you're dieting. So cheat before you cheat, okay? Never get to the point where you're absolutely starving on a diet. And second, have an exit strategy for your diet, which means you know how to eat to get fat, right? Like I eat 10 pizzas, I drink 10 cases of beer a day, but I don't know how to eat at maintenance, okay? So you know how to be fat, you know how to starve yourself, and then when the diet's over, you go back to being fat again because that's all you know. So one thing that one of the guys in the Brotherhood was talking about on one of the last Zoom calls is, he enjoys the concept of fat cycling. He enjoys the concept of fat cycling because you're basically eating at maintenance for your goal body weight on your high calorie days, and on your low calorie days, you are on the pure protein diet. So you're in a steep deficit, but you know how to eat at maintenance. You know it feels good. You know it tastes good to eat at maintenance for your goal body weight. So it kind of gives you practice. So I really don't think that it's like your body wants to be at this set point. I think your lifestyle has to be like, if you diet too hard, too long, you're going to binge. It has nothing to do with a set point. It has to do with starving. If you don't know how to eat after your diet, you're just going to eat what looks good and you're going to get fat again. And, like I said, if you have an exit strategy, like how to transition out slowly from your diet, number one. And number two, if you've done diet breaks, you already know how to eat. Okay. So like I said, if you're on a low carb diet, hey, omelets taste good, bacon tastes good, steaks taste good, whatever kind of food you eat to make up your maintenance calorie diet, that's what you have to be at. Okay. So after the diet, you shouldn't really bounce back to whatever your set point is, quote, because you already know how to eat. So like I said, when I say lifestyle, I mean, don't diet too hard, know exactly what to do after the diet. Okay. And in terms of like mental, like you need to just not, you need to do what I said in one of my videos before and one of my podcasts, which is kill the boy. Okay. The idea is basically you have a fat person living in your head who wants to eat, that keeps his weight at a certain point. And in order to get away from that set point, you need to kill the boy in your head, kill the fat kid in your head. One guy commented on the video. He says he used to go binge drinking every weekend. He has to kill the alcoholic who comes out on the weekend. Like, he can't be this guy anymore. He can't be this guy who goes out on the weekend anymore. It has to end. That person is dead. It's all over with. On the weekend, he's the same person he is during the week. He doesn't let this beast come out. And it's the same thing here. There are a lot of people who get their joy from eating food. There are a lot of people that get their social contact from eating food with other people. A lot of people get bored and they fucking eat because they have nothing better to do. So you have to know technically, how to set up your lifestyle, your diet and everything to not get too hungry and to transition out, etc. But you also need to be like, hey, I enjoy being lean and being ripped more than I enjoy, the food that I'm eating. You eat a bunch of cookies, you're like, wow, that tasted good, and now I'm bloated and I feel like shit and I'm tired and I'm fat. Or you can eat, like I said, like, a bunch of eggs and throw some cheese on top and, make yourself some kind of keto-ish food that fits within your macros, that fits within your calories, and be like, hey, that food was good, it tasted good, my hunger is satisfied, I feel good, I've got energy, and look how good I look. You need to take your happiness, okay, from looking good and feeling good and performing well in the gym, as opposed to taking your happiness from, well, I'm going to eat a whole bunch of cookies and this can make me feel better. So like I said, I don't know exactly, what applies to you, but that is probably one of the things that you need to consider. Like I said, do you know technically what you're doing in terms of transitioning out of the diet, not dieting too long, doing diet breaks? Do you also know how to create like a world where you can be happy and not eat what you used to eat? Okay. Find new sources of happiness. Okay. Because it's probably one or the other or both that is causing you to think you have a higher body fat set point, because you keep going back to that. Okay. Another question from Johnny Lunt. What sort of high protein, high fat meals are you eating, Bob? I turned 40 last month and I currently do 100 push-ups every other day with walking involved as well on the other days. I'm on TRT myself and just wondering what sort of meals you're eating to gain muscle at 40, doing only calisthenics and walking. Yeah, it's very true. I go for a walk with my girlfriend every morning, at least 6 days a week after we go to the gym. And on Sundays, we usually walk around as our day off, as our rest day anyway. That's my primary source of cardio. And I do calisthenics. Calisthenics, as I said in yesterday's video, is not like just push-ups. Okay, calisthenics, I know pull-ups, dips, push-ups on rings, dips maybe on rings, rows on rings, etc., 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 knee bends, hanging leg raises. I work my entire body doing calisthenics. Okay, so you can do just calisthenics with your body weight, but it has to be more than push-ups. Okay, as a matter of fact, a lot of times when you do push-ups, if you have your arms off to the side, you use your front delts a lot. Okay, they get very strong, but if you don't do any rows, your rear delt is going to be weak, which means your joint is going to be pulled forward. Your upper arm is going to be pulled forward by your overpowering front delt, and you're actually going to have like an imbalance. My girlfriend, or my fiance now, but back when she was my girlfriend, she actually started to have problems with that. She was going to chiropractors, physical therapists. She was having all kinds of pains in her shoulder, and it turned out it was just her front delt was overpowering her rear delt, and she had to stop doing front delt movements and start really concentrating on rows. So just a little hint here, check out a complete calisthenics system as opposed to just doing 100 push-ups. But anyway, so what am I eating? Basically, I take in 50 grams of protein per meal, okay? And I've said this in other videos, I got like a whole bunch of meals that I have that contain 50 grams of protein, okay? So for instance, I hate tuna, but 2 cans of tuna is usually about 48 grams of protein, okay? I really enjoy eating chicken. That's 47 grams of protein, 0 carbs, 3 grams fat, 220 calories. I mean, I just know that. Like raw, 200 grams of chicken weighed raw is exactly that. I know it from right out of my head because that's what I eat a lot. So what I'm saying is you start off with the protein and then you add in the fat. So if I want to eat, let's say 2 cans of tuna is basically literally pure protein. If I want to go ahead and add in some fat, I might take 1 can and scramble up 4 eggs. You know, I'll throw 4 whole eggs into a pan, throw 1 can of tuna in, and it will also be 50 grams of protein, but considerably more fat because of the eggs, okay? Chicken, I can add an ounce of almonds, okay? 160 calories, okay? Mostly from fat. I could throw in an ounce of peanuts, okay? 160 calories, mostly from fat. I could throw on 2 slices of Swiss cheese, okay? That's 140 calories, almost entirely fat, okay? So basically, I know different ways to do this. You know, I can have like, you know, meals of chicken, then I start to need more calories, more fat. I could add in, you know, an ounce of almonds. Then I could add an ounce of almonds and an ounce of peanuts. Okay, so basically those are different ways to increase the fat. Once I want to increase the fat even more, then I go ahead and I'll switch from chicken to 80% lean ground chuck. That's my staple red meat that I eat. 8 ounces weighed raw has only 38 grams of protein. So I add a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese to it. 12 grams of protein brings the 38 up to 50 grams of protein, okay? I want to go ahead and add in even more fat. I might go ahead and take 3 eggs raw, a 1/2 cup of whole milk, a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, some cinnamon for taste, and some milk and egg protein for extra protein, okay? And add in, and I will just go ahead and shake that up and drink that, okay? So basically, you've got like 220 calories for chicken, okay? 380 calories if you add in almonds, 38, 440, 540 calories, I believe, if you add in peanuts on top of that. If you switch up to ground chuck and cottage cheese, that's like 690 calories, okay? And if you switch from ground chuck and cottage cheese to that egg shake that I just explained, that's like 830 calories, okay? And it is all 50 grams of protein. I'm just adding more and more fat to increase more and more calories, okay? So that's the way I suggest you do it. You know, like I said, find pure protein, then find low carb, high fat ways to add in cheese, nuts, etc. Okay, switching up chicken or tuna for, you know, red meat or a fattier cut of red meat. And then, like I said, then you want to go really crazy here. You might want to go ahead and, like I said, start adding in some of those like keto weight gainer shakes, okay? Because all those meals are 50 grams of protein, increasingly high fat, low carbs, okay? Excellent keto meals. But you have to just figure out what it is for yourself, how many grams of protein you want per meal, okay? James Ashton, how many days on average do you recommend people start with higher fat to get fat adapted, parentheses, feeling good, before bringing fat levels down to pure protein diet? Okay, so a lot of people talk about something called the PSMF diet. I've done videos on it before, protein sparing modified fasting, where you literally just eat pure protein. You keep carbs as low as possible, you keep fat as low as possible, you keep calories as low as possible. It is a diet, I'm not going to get into it now, but the bottom line is it is not at all sustainable for any period of time whatsoever. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, but it's a bad thing. It's not really the best way to do things. My pure protein diet has more fat and it has more calories so you can stand it longer. Plus, I teach you how to transition out of it, how to use it for fat cycling, high fat and calorie, low fat and calorie days, etc., etc., etc. Do not recommend PSMF, okay? But what I'm going to go ahead and say here is a lot of people recommend PSMF. They're like, put down the donut and the next day go on the PSMF diet. Like, just eat chicken all day, just eat tuna all day, just eat egg whites all day. And it's like, God, that's going to kill you. That's going to really suck, okay? So what this guy's asking about is before you go on the pure protein diet, I recommend you get fat adapted first, okay? That means you eat high fat, high calorie. You just eat, I teach you how to do this in low carb cutting and bulking. Basically, I teach you how to get your body used to burning fat, get your body fat adapted, get past the keto flu by keeping your water intake and your electrolytes up, get your fiber right. And when you're feeling good on just protein and fat, then you jump into the pure protein diet, which is like very low carb, high protein, and relatively low fat. So the question is, how do you know when you're ready to make that jump? How do you know when your body is fat adapted? And it has nothing to do with how long you stay. Average, if you want to know, I'd say 3 to 10 days, probably about a week, okay? Like I said, 3 to 10 days, it depends, okay? If you just eat crap all day, if you have a carbohydrate addiction, a sugar addiction, it's going to take longer. If you're doing, let's say, paleo or clean eating, or, low glycemic index carbs, or, if you're doing something basically where you eat fewer carbs and they're more like, lower glycemic carbs, you don't just eat cookies all day and feel good because I love eating cookies, but you eat maybe like an apple here or there, or some rice here or there, or some potatoes here and there, it's going to be faster, okay? If you have in the past been fat adapted, it's going to be faster. You're going to remember what it feels like, how to get through it. And most importantly, if you buy low carb cutting and bulking, and you follow the section where I talk about getting fat adapted. It's a huge module with all kinds of videos on getting fat adapted, getting over sugar addictions. If you do that right, you will not go through the keto flu, okay? Like I said, your electrolytes, your fiber, your water intake will be fine, so you will not go through the keto flu at all. If you follow that information, it's going to go a lot quicker. But the bottom line I'm trying to make here is, it really does depend. You just jump on, high calories, high fat, like very low carbs, and you will know at what point you are fat adapted. If you do everything right, it should just be a few days. And like I said, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel better than you did when you were eating carbs. The carbohydrate addiction is going to be gone. Okay, you're not going to miss carbs. You're going to look forward to eating fat. You're going to look forward to eating keto. You're going to feel great. You're going to enjoy drinking water, taking your electrolytes. Everything's going to be wonderful, okay? Your life's going to be a lot better than it was before. And that's the point at which you know that your body is fat adapted, okay? If you're still struggling with the carb addiction, if you're still struggling to get through the keto flu or something like this, which shouldn't happen if you follow the instructions of getting fat adapted, like I said, but if you do that, you're not quite ready. Because I always tell people, since we are cutting and bulking on a low carb diet, you only have to get fat adapted once. It's like an investment in the future. You get these bodybuilders, they're eating all kinds of carbs, and it's like, all right, tomorrow we're just going to go down to like 0 carbs. Like, great. And then they're going to feel like crap, okay? Whereas over here, you get fat adapted once, you feel good eating protein and fat, no carbs once, and then, if you want to cut, you drop the fat, which drops the calories. If you want to go up to maintenance, you increase the fat, which increases the calories. If you want to bulk, you bump up the calories a little bit more by adding some more fat. But the whole time you are on low carb, which means you do not have to get fat adapted. It's not like I need to eat 10 pounds of rice a day because I'm bulking, and now I need to cut it down to just tilapia and broccoli because I'm cutting. It's like, no, stay fat adapted. So do not rush the process. Your body will know when you're ready, when you're feeling good, when you're feeling ready to move on and start seriously losing some weight, jump onto the pure protein diet. But before that, like I said, just think to yourself, you only have to get fat adapted once, and this is an investment in the future. The rest of your life, you're going to be able to go up and down, cut, bulk, maintain whatever you want without having to get fat adapted again. So do it right the first time. Buy my shit. Get low carb cutting and bulking and learn how to do the fat adaptation process properly, and then use low carb cutting and bulking to cut on the pure protein diet, to transition out, to maintain to lean bulk, whatever you want to do, it's all in there. Anyway, I appreciate the questions you guys have asked. If you have any more questions, just go ahead and comment down below on any of the videos. I always try to answer them, and I certainly try to answer them in videos, if they're good questions like these that I can answer in a video. Aside from that, thanks for watching. Check out all my products down below, especially check out the Raw Strength and Muscle Brotherhood, which is where I've got a community specifically to answer questions like this. Every single day I'm in there answering questions. Another thing is I got the weekly Zoom call. So you can actually get on the call or ask the question in advance, and I will really go in and figure out what's going wrong, what you need help with, and get you back on track. So if you want like one-on-one type of one-on-one quality information in a group coaching price, go ahead and check out Raw Strength and Muscle Brotherhood at rsambrotherhood.com. Aside from that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.